Yesterday in Tampa, Florida, during a healthcare reform rally or townhouse meeting, police had to be called after it appeared that violence was erupting in the hall or outside of the hall. And I am appealing for Americans in general and Christians in particular to have calmer heads and to let's realize that we are the United States of America, the greatest country in the world, and we had an election in 2008, and President Obama won the election. And just like he had the right to nominate his nominee, Sotomayor, to the Supreme Court, he also has the right to have his agenda passed if he can in Congress. And to me, it is evident that since President Obama uh, passed the stimulus bill, that this country is headed toward an unspeakable path of destruction and doom. And I believe this because of the willingness, evidence of the willingness of some to have this country fail rather than have a brilliant man of mixed heritage. President Obama is African and he's also white, occupy the highest office in the world. Okay. Initially, when the stimulus bill was passed, we had several southern governors who, even though they needed the money desperately, were willing to let the large minority population in their state suffer with high unemployment, joblessness, etc., rather than take money from um, President Obama's stimulus plan. And those governors included Perry from Texas, Mark Sanford from South Carolina, and Judall or Jindal of Louisiana. Perry even threatened to leave the Union, and we have some cable news personalities talking about storing weapons, having shelters, and to get ready for what's going to come to America. But what we cannot have come to America is another civil war. We are not Iran or Iraq or Kenya. We had an election. President Obama won. In 2010, we're going to have midterm elections. And in 2012, we're going to have again presidential election. And at that time, anyone who's willing and able to put forth their agenda and run, and we would let the voters decide who would occupy the White House and who would be in Congress. So I'm just appealing to Christian leaders in particular, um, Rick Warren, Paula White, Joyce Myers, to tell your congregation, and I don't know if they're involved, I hope that they're not, um, um, to pray and to help bring this country back, bring us to a real civil, law-abiding nation. And one senator, Mr. DeMint, stated that if we are to stop Obama on this, or able to stop Obama on this, meaning health care, it will break him. It's his Waterloo. So it's impossible for President Obama to be bipartisan when the people that he's trying to be bipartisan with, the Republicans' stated goal is to see him fail. And Mr. President, I hope you realize that you've done all that you can do. We have 60 senators in the Senate, and we control the House. I say that you won the election, you've tried, the American people know that you've tried. We can see even from Fox News today, it was reported that unemployment is at 9.4%, and I believe the new job numbers were 400,000. So if America would give this young president a chance, he would do what he was elected to do, to protect this country, to have us have a more perfect union, and to improve this economy that was on the brink of a recession when he was sworn in. also, I say, since we do have enough senators, that we go ahead and pass the bill, that we cancel all townhouse hall and rallies on health care, because we cannot have Americans fighting against Americans, blacks fighting against whites, Democrats fighting against Republicans, in the greatest country in the world. This reminds me of, as a Christian, of the story of the baby, when the two mothers were fighting over the baby, and the real mother decided that the other mother could have the baby rather than to destroy the baby. John McCain stated that you would put your country first, and that you were bipartisan, and that if you were elected the President of the United States of America, that you would unite the Congress, that you would pass bipartisan legislation. So far, you haven't done that. And I'm appealing to you to step up to the plate, to tell your party to tone it down. If you had won, would you want the behavior and the attitude that President Obama is now experiencing? Lastly, once we, I'm appealing to President Obama supporters. I didn't donate money, but because I couldn't afford it. I'm living on a fixed income, but I am willing to even sacrifice that we give money to OFA, Organizing for America, for the Democratic Party, so they can use that money to run ads, to promote the health care reform bill. And we need to get a bill passed so that we know what we're talking about, and also to debunk any false information that could be maybe circulating on the internet or in any other areas in the country. And since it's been stated that President Obama wants to gather email addresses and private citizens by trying to get the correct information out, I suggest that we have the citizens email that information to the network that supports President Obama. And I want to thank that network and those personalities and also the website that's pro-Obama, because just like in that's during the Civil War, you had people that were honest and fair and knew that according to the Constitution, America should not have had slaves. That according to the Constitution, we should not have had Jim Crow laws. So those people who supported uniting this country, we have a network now that's that's pro-Obama. That network would be willing to get hopefully willing to get those emails and to debunk anything that's not correct, and to get correct information to the American citizens so that they can make an informed decision. So thank you very much, and let's not be like Kenya, Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, those countries who do not follow the rule of law after an election. We got through 2000, and we can, in the year 2000 with the Bush-Gore situation, and we can get through this. Thank you, America.